Shabbat Shalom. Welcome and thank you for being here tonight. Just watching the weather, looking at the rain, we were thinking before that will be it. Thank you for our friends who watch us from home via live stream. Let's continue as we sing Yedid Nefesh.
Your roots Likrat kala rise and we face the entrance of our sanctuary to welcome in the Shabbat bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emune am segula boi chala boi chala
At this time in our service, we pause for a moment of gratitude. If anyone here would like to mention something good that happened to you in the past week, that would be a good time. Joella. New great-grandson, Mazel Tov. A girl and a boy. Are you working on the pictures there to show Charlie, just in case? Golly. Our family is here, yeah? As you know, in Portugal and in Israel, they celebrate Thanksgiving, so they really needed to be here to celebrate with us. No, it's 3 years, you know. Normally my parents and my brother-in-law come once a year, but pandemic and other things, and we're really happy. Good report. Thank you, God, for a good medical report. Your mom was sent home. Wow. This is a miracle. Yeah, Bruce will tell you at the Oneg if you want to hear more details, but he had to cut short his trip to see his grandson in California because his mother was really in a bad shape, and wow, it's unbelievable. Anyone from home sent us something?
Sheila is grateful for her daughter only suffering minor injuries in a serious car accident.
So let's pray. Tov lahodot l'Adonai. It's good to say thank you, God.
Tov lahodot l'Adonai. Tov lahodot l'Adonai. L'Shimcha little blessing for our rainy Shabbat. Blessed are you, bringer of light, who gave us sun and also clouds to cover the sun, and also evening for the light to slip away gorgeously below the horizon, who gave us occasion to bring this small flame into our lives, a reminder of the day. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And if you're able, we rise for Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta dotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. Please remain standing for the call to worship. Baruch.
Yai la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la. Let's read together. Bless Adonai, who spins day into dusk. With wisdom, watch the dawn gates open. With understanding, let time and seasons come and go. With awe, perceive the stars in lawful orbit. Morning dawns, evening darkens. darkness and light yielding one to the other, yet each distinguished and unique. Marvel at life, strive to know its ways, seek wisdom and truth, the gateways to life's mystery. Wondrous indeed is the evening twilight. Umavir yom, umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uben laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamidim lo chaleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'aravim. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chokim u'mishpatim, otanu limadta, otanu limadta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shokbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavadcha al tasir ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
And with the message of God's love for us, I invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Let's take another deep breath in and out. And this is a perfect time to let go of our stress, of our anxieties. This is the real gift of Shabbat. And as we continue to slowly breathe in and out, let's have our weekly conversation with God. We can tell God anything we want, anything we need to say. We can ask questions that no one else has answers for. We can show our gratitude, or we can even protest. Doesn't really matter what we say as long as we pause and listen. Let's take another deep breath in as we inhale the blessings of Shabbat, the blessings of community as more people now come in person to celebrate with us. And let's breathe out our pain, our frustrations and disappointments of the past week. Just let go of everything you need to let go of. And still with our eyes closed, let's all say together the prayer of Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
We read together, love the strangers among you. Love them as yourself. See yourself in their eyes. With your own hands, bind up their wounds. Teach your children to unlock their hearts and share their wealth. Inscribe words of welcome on your gates and ports of entry. For you have been strangers in every corner of the world.
Four years ago, we started to participate in this wonderful project, real mitzvah, back to basics. We took upon ourselves, I do not describe it exactly on purpose, we took upon ourselves to help or even adopt 120 children. We did it well. This year, we took upon ourselves to have 150. There are only 37 left. So when you leave the sanctuary, just look at the boards and take a card. It's a beautiful mitzvah. The reason that I'm not describing exactly what this project is all about is because the founder of Back to Basics, Beverly Perham, is with us tonight. Please join us here. Beverly will tell us about the program and how she started it. I can just tell you one thing, and this is not from me, this is the way that my wife Gali described her. In the Jewish tradition, we talk about 36 hidden righteous. And these 36 hidden righteous support the entire world. In other words, we read in the Kabbalah books that which still exists because of these people. And Beverly, we are so privileged to have you here.
Well, let me say this, it's an honor for me to be here. I have so looked forward to this all week, and I'm really, really honored by you to allow me to speak before your congregation.
The honor is really
Thank
ours.
you.
Thank you.
He already told you what my name was, so that eliminated the first line. 37 years ago, I got a telephone call from God in the form of a little small lady about this tall by the name of Mary Frances Jones, about the plight of 30 Haitian children who had been dumped offshore and had come into the community. The man who was handling them was a man by the name of Deacon Emile, wonderful man, and he has since passed to his reward, but he was a wonderful spiritual man. And he had called my friend. So she asked me if there was anything that the women's club I was president of could do something. Well, it was 4 days before Christmas, and everyone had scattered and gone to wherever they were going to go for Christmas. So I said to her, no, I don't think I can get a hold of anybody, but what are you talking about? How much is it going to cost, and what do they want? And she said that the manager of the local Kmart in Palm Beach Gardens would give us an outfit of clothes and a toy valued at between $5 and $10. Now, that was a big toy in those days. It was 1984. And so I said, well, I have $700 in the bank. And I was married 25 years that year in August, 1st of August. And my husband didn't give me an anniversary present. So I went to the bank, took out $500, and I went shopping. Now, I hate to shop, so it was easy because we bought an outfit of clothes and a toy, and then the manager gave us wrapping paper. We wrapped it, called Deacon Emile, and that was the start. He brought the toys for the 30 Haitian children. I thought, oh my, isn't this nice? I felt good about it, and I said, next year, maybe we can do better for them. Well, next year, those 30 grew into 135, and there were 35 refugee children from Guatemala. And so I said, all right, we'll have to take care of those children. And we did. And then the following year, they were up to 500 or 600, and by the time I'd done it for 3 or 4 years, it was up to 1,100, and then now we will service 10,000, over 10,000 children this year. It's a very simple program. All you do is buy a pair of sneakers, a package of underwear, and a package of socks. And you take a toy, and an age-appropriate toy, wrap it up as a Christmas present, and we have the schools come. We sort them, bag them, we catalog all the names so every child gets it. I can honestly say in 36 years, because this is my 37th year, 36 years, every child's name that I took received what I promised. And the reason we got into sneakers, underwear, and socks was because the schools asked for that. In 1986, the school came to us and said, would you like to get what our kids really need? And I said, well, I thought, giving them a new outfit would be, and a toy was good. And they said, no, what they really need is something you don't find in a thrift store. And immediately I thought of underwear and socks. And they said, yes, and a type of shoe you never see there. And immediately came to mind sneakers. What was happening is kids were being left home by their parents so that they wouldn't get a 0 for the day because they didn't have the proper shoes to wear for gym or PE or whatever you want to call it. And then they have different names every year. And so they were missing. At that time, they got PE twice a week. And I said, my God, they're missing 40% of the school year. And my husband said, yes, and when they get to be adults, they'll come and rob my house, and then they'll go to jail and spend their lives in jail. So he said, let's see if we can't put a little bit of a dent in society. Well, I never thought of 10,000, but, a few hundred. And at that same time, a priest friend of mine said to me, Beverly, you're getting into something big. And I said, I am. You know, I'm only doing it year by year. And he said, no. He said, but I want to tell you one thing. Whatever you promise, fulfill the promise. Because he said, the world promises the poor everything and gives them nothing. So we are trying to, in some way, make a child who goes through this whole holiday season with all the glitz and the glitter and all the cheering and, you know, all the expectation of something wonderful. And then what happens? Their families can't afford that something wonderful, or they don't have family lives at all. We have kids in our program that they have to open their gifts in school so that the teachers can document what they've gotten so that when they come back to school in January, they'll still have it. We deal with that, and we deal with good parents, too, who are excited about the fact that somebody out in this world cares about that their child goes to school, and that education is important to other people, and it makes them, in some little way, better parents. One of the schools we service out in the Glades area is a school that has really a lot of problems because it just doesn't have the kind of family lives that children should have. And that's one of the schools that they have to open everything in school. Now, a couple of the teachers called me and they said, you know, that place is a very somber place. A school shouldn't be somber. A school should be happy. Children should be joyful. And he said it's a very somber place, except for 1 week a year. And that's the week they come back from Christmas break, and they have their new clothes to show off in front of their friends. I got called from a principal one time about the kindergarten and first grade wing, that there was a ruckus or something going on in the restrooms. And when the principal came to see what it was, is all these kids were showing off their new underwear to each other because they never had underwear. And I'm thinking to myself, I mean, boys wear just plain white underwear. How can they really be that excited about it? But they are. And that's why we got into it. And again, I don't like to shop, so that meant I only had to go to 3 places: shoes, underwear, and socks. Period. So we have done this program all these years with no paid staff. We have never had a fundraiser. We depend upon the generosity of people like you yourselves, taking names and buying the 3 items or 4 items that are on the list, and then sending it back to us so that we can have it delivered, or we can have schools pick it up, and the kids can feel the joy and the experience of Christmas or whatever holiday they celebrate. And some don't celebrate any holiday, but it's still exciting because they've got a present. I've had kids that were 3 and 4 years old in one of the schools we did who don't know what silverware is. They don't know what a fork or a spoon is for. They didn't know how to unwrap a present. We had to show them how to do that. The only thing they know about silverware is the knife, and it's not to cut your meat. So that's their kind of life. And if we can make that particular life just one little step brighter, then they'll remember it as they grow up, and maybe there will be a change in the world. We can't change the whole world. We're only 1 or 2 people, but we can try to make our section of the world a little bit better to live in. And that's mainly the whole thrust of the program. As you can see, I get very passionate about this because I was raised poor, but my parents always saw that we had the celebration of the Christmas holiday. We went to church and we had opening of presents afterwards. And it might not have been much, but it was. I remember every year I would get a doll. And I always got the doll that I wanted. One year I wanted a doll with a fur coat. And somebody had given my mother an old coat that had fur on it, and she had made the fur coat for this doll. I was 35 years old, and my mother told me, I was explaining to somebody how I always got a doll that I wanted for Christmas. And my mother laughed, and she said, you know, Beverly, the doll was the same doll. She said, I just fixed it up, redressed it, and that's what you got. And I thought to myself, you know, no wonder my doll always disappeared in September, and I didn't see a doll until December. So those are the things, you know, that I had happy memories of the holiday. And my father was one who grew up in a home that he didn't have happy holidays. He didn't get presents. His father used to put coal. The Italian way is if you're bad, you get coal in your stocking. My grandfather used to put coal in the stockings of his kids. He was not a nice man. So those were the things that hit me as a child, and I wanted to make the experience and the joy for the children. I just never figured that we would end up with over 10,000 children. I did this program out of my home for 25 years, and we survived on donations of $25, $50. I mean, $100 was a big donation to us. And then we found out that if we had a place outside of my home to work at, we would qualify for some grants. And so we got together, and none of us knew how to write a grant, but we learned rather quickly. And so now we do get some grant money. And of course, the 100 Women Who Care, we've won theirs. We won this North area one once, and we won the one in North Palm Beach once, and we won the one in Boca once, and of course that helps. In the year 2001, the school board decided they were going to take 3 schools and start a pilot program for school uniforms to try to level the playing field for these children so that the poorer ones wouldn't be more concerned about what they had to wear. I mean, they were wearing pants that you had to put a pin on to button them. And so I thought to myself, and my husband said, you know, we've spent 17 years trying to put shoes on their feet so they'll go to school, and now the school board's going to make them wear a uniform, and the parents will keep them home because they haven't got money for a uniform. Or they'll let one kid go to school one day and the other kid go to school the next day, which they had done with shoes, and we, you know, would get shoes for a child like that. So he said, what are we going to do? And I said, I don't know, but something will come up. And after Christmas, I got a donation from a lady in Palm Beach that she had sent to me late. It was supposed to be for Christmas. So I called her and I asked her if I could use that donation for school uniforms. And she said, oh, as long as you spend it on children in Palm Beach County, and that's all we do is Palm Beach County, she said you can spend it on uniforms. And that's how the uniform program started. We had 300 kids that year. We decided 2 uniforms was a helping hand. 3 would be a handout. So we gave them 2 uniforms, new uniforms each. And we did the 3 schools. Well, last year we did 21,000 school uniforms. So we've kind of grown. And I'm, of course, falling apart. I'm 83, and my mind is still good, but my body is falling apart. So I have a lot of help, and now I do have a good helping crew and a working crew that takes and helps with this program, and people who are as dedicated to it as I am, because you have to be dedicated to it. This is something you have to want to do. So again, I'm asking you, as your rabbi said, if you can take, I didn't realize you took 150 this year. That was wonderful. And if you can, think, and maybe if you've already done one child, maybe you might want to try and do another one. If you're grandparents, it's good, because a lot of times our grandchildren have all they need. My grandson used to tell people, we don't celebrate Christmas on Christmas Day in my grandma's house. We celebrate it on December 26th because she's Santa Claus and she's too busy. So that's kind of the way things went, Does anybody have any questions that they might like to ask me about the program? Is there anything that I haven't covered, that I would be happy to share it with you. And I thank you. I really thank you for inviting me to this service. It has been a wonderful experience.
Wow.
And this program has led me to places I never thought I'd go, and this is one of them. And I'm I was very excited when you asked me. I have a couple of Jewish friends, and I asked them how I should dress and how Jeffrey should dress. And they told me Jeffrey might have to wear a yarmulke, is it?
You
And
are
I said,
just
well, he'll put
perfect
it
the way
on.
you are.
So I got all the information of how, to try to act.
Thank you. If you don't mind, after that, we'll end the
Yeah.
service shortly, and then we are going to have some refreshment. And if you don't mind to stay with us, and anyone who has
Oh,
a
no, I
question or anything
Yes.
can ask you, right?
Yep.
Wow, thank you.
And I'll do my best to answer it.
Thank
I
you.
didn't mention it, but it will cost you. The sneakers have gone up tremendously. We're paying double the price for sneakers that we paid last year. So, it's going to cost you between $40 and $50 to do a child. And I like people to know what you're going to be expected of you. And a lot of times I'll have people who are living on limited incomes, and two people will take one child's name. So if you want to take half a child, it's okay, and share it with a friend. That's okay too. The purpose is that the children get served. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. There is a story in the Talmud about a man who went to two famous rabbis, Hillel and Shammai, with the same question: can you teach me the entire Torah while I'm standing on one foot? And one of them just pushed him away and said, get out of my study. And Hillel embraced him. And I think, Beverly, what we heard from you is the entire Torah. Because listening to you, I don't know which religion you practice, which denominations, but this is the essence, this is the core of every religion. And I loved what you said that your priest friend had told you. God promises the poor everything, but they end up getting nothing. And one of the famous Hasidic rabbis, the Kotzker Rebbe, said, once it gets to helping people, each one of us must be an atheist. We don't believe that God is going to help them. It's up to us to help them. We don't get God will help. We help. When it comes to prayers and everything, we believe in God. When it comes to helping, it's up to us. It's not up to God's miracles.
The instrument that he uses to perform his works.
It's really beautiful. As you can see, if you look at our ark, there are many angels there. This is ladder from the Jacob's dream. We read about it last week. So there are angels coming up and down. The interesting thing is that in the Bible, in Hebrew, the word for angel and messenger is the same word, and often we don't know if we're talking about these angels with wings, or we're just talking about people who happen to be in the right place, the right time, doing the right thing. And Beverly, you and everyone else who participates in your program and similar programs, especially during this time of the year, when most of us can celebrate with our friends and family without worrying where food comes from, where sneakers and underwear come from, helping others to do the same. This is really the entire message of the entire Bible. I cannot really distill it to a clearer and better way. And we are so grateful for you, and we are so honored to have you here with us and to have the opportunity to participate in this beautiful program. Yes, we tried this year to have 150 because we need to challenge our people every year to give more. We're going to change our service a little bit because we were planning to read the Torah, but I think that we really learned a lot of Torah from Beverly. So I would like to invite everyone who celebrates a birthday during the Hebrew month of November, please to rise. Anyone who celebrates a birthday in November, we're not going to ask you to do anything weird like reading Hebrew out loud and people making fun of you. We just want to offer you a blessing, the priestly benediction that you can see on the upper walls of our sanctuary. Yevachecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you safe and healthy. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lachem shalom. May you always know that God is with you and that God works through you. And may God bless you with shalom, with wholeness and peace. As we all say, Amen.
Sermon tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, sermon tov, sermon tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, sermon tov, sermon tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, sermon tov, yehelanu, 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 ulecho Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu.
We continue now with the Mishaberach, the healing prayer. If anyone here would like to mention the name of a loved one who is ill and in need of healing, please mention her or his name. Do we have any names from the house?
No.
מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill.
May the
please rise for the closing prayers. If you're observing a Yortzeit or during the period of mourning, Shiva or Shloshim, the month of mourning, please remain standing. As we remember today, Louis Sirkis, grandfather of Myrna, Zola Karp, father of Steve, Barry Garson, father of Jamie, Abbott Ressler, husband of Phyllis, Nathaniel Drower, father-in-law of Vera and grandfather of Nat, Thelma Miriam Plosky, mother of Lori, Max Greenblatt, father of Lenore, Betty Goldberg, mother-in-law of Sandy, Ethel Goldberg, mother of Sandy, Max Goldman, father of Barbara, Carl Jarmel, father-in-law of Gail and grandfather of Valerie, Isidore Golden, grandfather of Stacy, Joseph Schwartz, father of Diane and grandfather of Brian, Lawrence Adam Ducat, father of Erica, Paul Begler, uncle of Natalie and Mike, Abraham Lawrence, grandfather of Yael, Jeffrey Levine, husband of Sharon, Philip Levy, father of Charlie, Rose Silverman, mother of Tamar, Zoltan Smoke, grandfather of Susan, Lillian Meisler, daughter of Bobby, Vera Kabolotsky, aunt of Joe, Raymond Prefer, father of Judy, Ron Demana, beloved of Joetta, Paul Schwab, father of Benji, Charles Siegel, brother-in-law of Natalie, Lily Califer, grandmother of Carol, Ethel Davidson, Stanfield, mother of Jeffrey, Berta Feinberg, mother of Leona, Louis Wender, father of Herb. During the month of Shloshim, 30 days of mourning, remember Stuart Newman, uncle of Yael, Linda Blitzer, friend of Carol, Joan Tager, wife of Charles and mother of Evan, Stephen, and David, Joseph Beam, grandfather of Ilana, Ida Kronberg, aunt of Frini, Thelma Kramer, stepmother of CK, Dr. Jack Halleckman, friend of Jackie, Ronald Kraft, uncle of Matt. If you would like to mention a name of a loved one whom I have not mentioned, please.
Juliet's classmate, 14-year-old Ryan Rogers.
If your custom is to rise for the Kaddish, please do. If not, you're welcome to remain seated. As we say together, יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, באמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא, החיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. Please be seated.
המוציא
מן הארץ, we give thanks to God for
breath. Our
voices rise in song together.
as our joyful
Prayer is
said. Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech
haolam, hamotzi
lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Before we conclude, I just need to clarify something. If you saw me during the service doing some very violent gesture like that, it's not that I'm angry or that I want to kill anyone. It just means that our monitors in front of us died on us, and it was a sign for those who help us to try to revive them. I don't want you to go home and think that on Shabbat I'm doing all these things taken from The Sopranos or something. On Wednesday night, we're going to have our 25th, Gonzalo, am I right? Thanksgiving, interfaith Thanksgiving service. If you have been there, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it's probably one of the best services that anyone can participate in. This year it will take place at Jupiter First. Only because of the pandemic, we limit the number of people who can go. We still have tickets. Each congregation was allotted a limited number of tickets, and we have. So if you're planning to come and you're here tonight, or you can come next week, we'll be happy to give you some tickets so you'll be able to enjoy this rare spirit of being together, of interfaith, of the way to celebrate Thanksgiving. Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom, b'romav. Oseh Shalom, b'romav. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Alleluia. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shabbat shalom.
Please join us for the Oneg. Thank you, Beverly, so much for your enlightening speech and encouraging us to do the right thing, to do more mitzvahs, more good deeds. And please join us there. I know that some people here want to ask you some questions. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Thanksgiving.